Pinduoduo's first quarter earnings report is out. The news is not good. Originally, people expected it to be bad, but it turned out even worse than expected. Profits almost got cut in half, and revenue missed expectations. The stock price opened down 20%. Then the market value evaporated by 240 billion yuan. Looking at Xiaomi, it's like fire and ice, two completely different situations. Honestly, Pinduoduo deserves to be in this situation. They spent tens of billions in subsidies, trying to fight against Taobao, JD.com, and government subsidies. To be honest, it's time for them to pay some price. Over the years, how much have they sucked from the merchants? Many years. Personally, I feel they must be hit hard while they are weak. We cannot give this kind of platform any chance to catch its breath. I hope Taobao, JD.com, and Douyin step up. Combined with the tariff war, they should take down Temu and then finish off Pinduoduo domestically.
On May 27th, PDD Holdings, the parent company of Pinduoduo and Temu, released its Q1 2025 financial report. The report showed revenue of 95.7 billion yuan, below analysts' average expectation of 101.6 billion. Net profit was 14.7 billion yuan, down 47% year-on-year, far below the 25.7 billion expected. Sales and marketing expenses rose 43% to 33.4 billion yuan, dragging down profits. Operating costs increased 25%, mainly due to higher fulfillment and payment processing fees. Because of the weak Q1 results, Pinduoduo's US-listed shares fell more than 20% before the market opened, wiping out more than 240 billion yuan in market value. Unexpectedly, while Pinduoduo's stock price plunged in the US, people in China's e-commerce circle and the public were mostly gleeful. The atmosphere was very lively. As one e-commerce influencer said in a video, people want to strike while the iron is hot. Some online users even said excitedly, "If Pinduoduo really goes bankrupt, I'll buy 10,000 fireworks to celebrate." Others said more wildly, "If it really goes bankrupt, I'll even take out a loan to buy 100,000 yuan worth of fireworks and celebrate big." This shows how much hatred there is towards Pinduoduo. Some called Pinduoduo a garbage platform and an industry cancer. They said Pinduoduo cuts merchants' profits to offer low prices to buyers. This forces merchants either to sell fake goods or junk products, because otherwise they can't make money. Others said, if it's cheap but the quality is bad and they still make money, then it has no reason to exist. Many said, if this shuts down, merchants across the country will applaud. Others added, this is what people want, and only China would have such a company. However, some merchants were calmer. One pointed out, do you think the stock price dropping is a good thing? In the end, Pinduoduo will recover losses from merchants, with interest. Another merchant said helplessly, what's there to be happy about? If they lose money, they'll just squeeze us merchants even harder. Everything will go back to the way it was, and their tactics will only get deeper. If you really want to hurt them, just let them go bankrupt. Then there will be peace. Some noted that although profits dropped, Pinduoduo still makes money by squeezing merchants. They estimated that all merchants combined probably do not make as much profit as Pinduoduo. One consumer shared their experience. I spent less than 200 yuan total on Pinduoduo, and every time I felt ripped off. A few years ago, the popular cut the price feature was really annoying. I only downloaded it because of friends and then uninstalled it immediately. Regarding the first quarter profit drop, Pinduoduo's chairman and co-CEO Chen Lei said in the earnings call it's due to 3 reasons. First, competition in China's e-commerce market has intensified. Second, external policies like tariffs changed sharply, putting huge pressure on Pinduoduo's merchants. Third, since the second half of last year, Pinduoduo greatly expanded a program that reduced fees for merchants by tens of billions of yuan, aiming to promote high-quality development of the platform. But Chen Lei did not mention that Pinduoduo is now considered a public enemy. Merchants complain that the platform endlessly squeezes them. Consumers criticize the low quality of goods. Competitors blame Pinduoduo for vicious low-price competition. The worst enemies are physical stores hit by e-commerce. Pinduoduo's low-price model has nearly cut off their lifeline. This also shows that Pinduoduo's over-reliance on low-price competition may be reaching its end. That might be the key reason for the profit decline.
Pinduoduo has set China's business environment, customer quality, and manufacturing standards back at least 20 years. Anyone with basic business knowledge knows that all commercial activities must ensure a certain level of profit. Pinduoduo started as competition between platforms, but it quickly spread to the supply chain, factories, and finally the product quality. This caused Chinese manufacturing to produce large amounts of low-quality junk products.
The influencer also mentioned that Pinduoduo's refund-only policy has been exploited by dishonest consumers who buy products, use them, and still demand refunds. This has caused many merchants to suffer greatly. Meanwhile, ChatGPT gave an even harsher judgment on Pinduoduo, calling it a tragedy of our time.
为什么拼多多东西这么便宜？
Why are Pinduoduo's products so cheap?
拼多多是反人性的。
Pinduoduo is against human nature. It amplifies greed and spreads rapidly through social media. It encourages negative human traits and damages the quality of the public. It pushes merchants to lower prices to the minimum. To make any profit, merchants can only reduce product quality and service. This vicious cycle results in many complaints about poor products. Pinduoduo is a sad sign of this era and a step backward for economic development. When business cannot make profits, it loses its appeal and cannot produce better products. Selling cheap products is essentially an insult to consumers and to the merchants themselves. If a product is good, who would want to sell it cheaply? Yet consumers who can afford the products still call merchants dishonest. This is a deep insult.
ChatGPT also pointed out that in the long run, the market will be flooded with low-quality goods. The vicious cycle of bad money driving out good money will become even worse. Consumers expect to pay 29 yuan but receive 99 yuan worth of service. In reality, better service requires paying extra fees or tips. However, some people disagreed with ChatGPT's view. They said from the perspective of ordinary Chinese people, if everyone had money, who would still use Pinduoduo? Who would want to buy such low-priced goods? In fact, this explains Pinduoduo's rapid rise. Since its founding in 2015, it has used low prices and an innovative social bargain-cutting model to trigger consumer desire, quickly capturing China's lower-tier markets. Then it copied the business model overseas, quickly growing in global markets through its cross-border e-commerce platform Temu. Pinduoduo's fast growth is closely tied to China's economic and consumer background. In recent years, China's economic growth has slowed. The real estate market remains weak, youth unemployment is high, and consumption downgrading is more obvious. Young people seek the best cost performance and affordable alternatives to similar big brands. Pinduoduo's many knockoff and white label products meet this demand, becoming its key to attracting consumers. However, even the low-price strategy struggles against this economic downturn. When the economy is weak and people lose confidence, consumers hold their wallets tightly. No matter how low prices go, poor consumers are still cautious. Also, consumers are increasingly moving away from Pinduoduo because of the many counterfeit products on its platform. People are realizing that buying a bunch of useless industrial trash is an even bigger waste of money. This awakening is causing consumers to rethink Pinduoduo's low-price approach. Look, this is a lock my husband bought on Pinduoduo yesterday for 11 yuan. He used it once and it broke. Look, it's broken here. Why is the quality of things so bad nowadays? So everyone, don't be greedy for cheap stuff. Even if it's cheap, it's not worth it. Another influencer shared a video saying they bought an apricot tree on Pinduoduo, but after planting it for a few days, they found out that it was actually an elm tree. She called Pinduoduo a scam and urged people not to buy from the platform. Another person's case was even worse. They spent over 100 yuan to buy flowers, but they were fake.
我知道人看傻了，我在拼多多上买花。
I was really shocked. I bought flowers on Pinduoduo, and I thought they looked nice and would add a nice touch at home. But this one leaf here shocked me. Fake flowers, fake roots, fake leaves, fake pot, everything fake. I want to return it. This is so fake. They're making a fool out of me. I thought it was a real flower, but I spent over 100 yuan for a fake one.
These are just a few recent examples. There are countless cases of poor quality products and fakes bought on Pinduoduo. As mentioned before, complaints come not only from consumers, but also from merchants.
怎么办？我做了1个多月的拼多多电商，我觉得已经做不下去了。
What should I do? I've been running a Pinduoduo store for over a month, and I feel like I can't continue. I really want to quit. 3 reasons. First, I have no experience running the store and don't know how to get traffic. I only get single-digit visitors daily and 0 sales. You have to spend money on promotion to get some traffic, but that traffic just causes losses. She also said that after-sales problems are exhausting. The platform is full of online beggars, meaning malicious buyers who exploit the refund-only policy. For example, she sells stale noodles, which most customers praise for good quality and taste, but a few make unreasonable demands. Some claim the packaging was damaged or the taste was bad. Others don't say anything and just ask for refunds. These disputes take a lot of time and energy. She has to monitor the backend from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., worried about missing a 3-minute reply window or being punished by the platform. Lastly, the platform's rules are harsh and unreasonable. Customers can request refunds for any reasons within 7 days, even without evidence. Merchants must accept returns and pay shipping fees. These rules make her feel overwhelmed. I can't quit because I'm doing this with my brother, but I really don't want to continue. It's too hard. I don't dare post about this on my original Douyin account. What should I do? Newcomers may struggle for many reasons. Even experienced sellers have complaints about Pinduoduo.
我认为目前最恶心的平台就是拼多多，没有之一。
I think the most disgusting platform right now is Pinduoduo. No contest. It calculates your profit down to zero. Normally, when we sell something, we might make 10 yuan profit per order. But promotion fees won't be less than 8 yuan, sometimes even more than 10 yuan. You're definitely losing money. What's worse, after a buyer buys something, Pinduoduo shows them an even cheaper price for the same item, tempting them to refund and buy again. Why? To make another promotion fee. After buyers buy, a pop-up shows offers like buy 2 at half price. When customers buy again, they find out they were tricked. It's all a trap. Only refunds are possible. For new customers, promotion fees are expected. But for old customers who come directly to the store, the promotion fee still applies. And for shipping, if packages don't leave the province within 2 days, there are fines. If tracking isn't updated within 12 hours, fines again. If buyers ask questions and I respond with a bit of emotion, more fines. This Pinduoduo, such a shameless and bottomless platform.
Some commenters said Pinduoduo is struggling to survive. It has no natural traffic left. Without paying, there's no traffic or sales. Merchants and customers are slowly moving to Taobao. The drop in sales was expected. People say Pinduoduo basically uses customers to control merchants. Now, small and medium merchants have been squeezed dry by the platform and the scamming buyers. There's nothing left to squeeze. No wonder Pinduoduo's profits crashed in the first quarter. Another important reason for Pinduoduo's sharp profit drop in quarter one is the fierce competition in China's e-commerce market. Pinduoduo has long relied on low prices to attract users and subsidies to keep merchants. But this model is becoming unsustainable with platforms like JD.com and Taobao, who are benefiting from government subsidies. Since 2024, the Chinese government launched subsidy policies for home appliances, cars, and consumer electronics. JD.com and Taobao, as self-operated platforms, enjoy these subsidies directly. Along with their own discounts, they can offer more attractive prices. Taobao and JD have also launched low-priced versions to compete for Pinduoduo's lower price market share. Pinduoduo mainly relies on third-party merchants and cannot directly benefit from these government subsidies. This means that even though Pinduoduo is known for low prices, government subsidies help consumers find competitive prices for quality products on self-operated platforms, weakening Pinduoduo's low-priced edge. Also, Taobao and JD have stronger supply chain integration and brand partnerships. Alibaba recently increased support for merchants by lowering fees and improving logistics to attract sellers, which directly challenges Pinduoduo's merchant base. JD leverages its strength in electronics and appliances and expands market share further through government subsidies. Compared to them, Pinduoduo's low-price model is less competitive in high-end and branded products. To meet these challenges, Pinduoduo increased its 100 billion yuan subsidy program. Since the second half of 2024, it expanded the 100 billion yuan fee reduction plan, lowering deposit requirements for appliances and digital categories and offering extra subsidies to keep prices competitive. But this caused marketing expenses to jump 43%, seriously squeezing profits. All these factors have hurt Pinduoduo's domestic business. Internationally, it faces major crises due to tariffs. Since launching in September 2022, Pinduoduo's overseas platform, Temu, grew rapidly in Europe and America with a super low price plus tax-free package model. But in 2025, Temu's growth clearly slowed. Changes in external policies became its biggest challenge. Temu's low price advantage relied heavily on the U.S. de minimis exemption policy, which allowed packages under $800 to enter the U.S. tax-free. But starting May 2, 2025, the U.S. government ended this exemption for packages from China and Hong Kong. All packages imported from China must now pay a 54% tariff plus $100 per item. This severely reduced Temu's low price advantage. Bloomberg reported Temu is adjusting its supply chain to deal with the tariff pressure. It shifted from direct shipping from China to a semi-fulfillment model, sending goods in bulk to the U.S. warehouses to reduce reliance on the small package exemption. But this raises logistics costs, pushing prices higher. For example, a summer dress that originally costs $18.47 jumped to $44.68 after adding import fees, a 142% increase. This not only weakens Temu's competitiveness, but also frustrates overseas consumers. Return rates have risen sharply as a result. Besides the United States, Temu's expansion in other markets also faces regulatory challenges. Japan is considering reviewing its small package tax exemption policy. The European Union plans to charge a fixed fee on packages from China. Recently, Vietnam suspended operations, citing its failure to complete necessary registration and suspicions of unfair competition. These policy changes further squeeze Temu's growth space. Pinduoduo's recent stock price plunge is the result of a double impact of a weak Chinese consumer market and changes in international trade policies. This crisis is not only Pinduoduo's own problem, but also a warning for China's e-commerce industry to shift from wild growth to rational development. Although the low-price competition model can attract customers in the short term, this distorted business model is doomed to be unsustainable. As one online user said, "It's truly a miracle that such a cheating and scammy business model hasn't collapsed yet."